Hey y'all, what's up? It's Lauren and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about my favorite historical fiction recommended reads. There is one classic in this bunch and then the rest are just stuff that I really like. There are two Christian fiction things in this, so but they're also all really good too. I'm going to try and make this as short as I can because I do have a long list of books. As a history minor, I do love me some history, like historical stuff. I don't care what it is, if it's fiction or not, I love it. Though I am very particular about, I do appreciate it when an author gets it right and when they don't get it right. I don't really appreciate it. But other than that, it's really... I hope y'all enjoy these reads as much as I do, and I hope y'all go out there and pick some up because some of them, they're all amazing, but I mean, my favorites were, yeah. So the first one we're going to talk about is Somerset by Leila Meacham. This one is it's talking about the Tolliver and Wyndham family, and that spans at least 4 different generations, and Jessica Wyndham is an abolitionist in Civil War era South Carolina. Not pre-Civil War era South Carolina. So the institution of slavery is in effect, and we have there's not really many graphic parts. There's not any graphic parts in here at all. The way they treat their slaves is good, but I still don't condone that. That's still totally wrong. Nobody should have ever done that to any human being at all, ever. But this was still a good book because the storyline, the plot, and everything, it was just it was really interesting because they think there's a curse on their family because of Silas's decision, Silas Tolliver. Because of Silas's decision, he makes a decision for his land. It's really about land love, and down here in the South, we really do take pride in what we own, and we take pride in our land, and we know that when you have a land, you need to work for it. So that's why, I'm sorry, I'm on like a caffeine high right now. So, yeah. I'm like going a little crazy. Just a little bit. 2 cups of tea and some Mountain Dew. I don't think that's a very good combination. But, I don't know if that's going to change it. But anyway, so if y'all see me like, it's because I got a caffeine high right now. It's been one of those days. Anyways. So maybe let's talk about books and maybe I'll get to feeling better. But yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed it. It starts off in 1830 and I'm just going to read y'all some of the back. It goes, born into the wealthiest and most influential family in the 1830s South Carolina, Jessica Wyndham was expected to look appealing, act with decorum, and marry a suitably prominent and respectable man. However, her outspoken opinions and unflagging sense of justice make her a difficult and dangerous firebrand, especially for a slavery-dependent Carson Wyndham, which is her dad. Jessica's testing of her powerful father's love is only the beginning of the pain, passion, and triumph she will experience on a journey with the indomitable, land-obsessed Silas Tolliver and headstrong Jeremy Warwick to a new land called Texas. So it takes place in Texas, and it's really good. First starts off with Jessica does something. She is an abolitionist, so she does something, and it's frowned upon, and so she has to suffer the consequences. And so, with that being said, she is sent to Texas for other reasons that you will find out if you read it. But it's really good. It talks about, it teaches you, not to make mistakes like they did. That not every single thing is, if you have something you own, you need to work for it. And you need to help to maintain it and everything. But that shouldn't become your sole obsession. That shouldn't come before family and finding a family and everything. And so, yeah, it's really good. I loved it. And this is a duology. And the second book in the series, or in the duology, is Roses. And it kind of follows, after the events of this book, but, 50 to 100 years later, I would say. So, yeah, that was a good one. The next one is The Wedding Dress by Rachel Hawk. This takes place over 4 different centuries again. The first one is 1912, 1939, 1968, and present day, whenever this was written. And it's about a wedding dress that is like not passed down, but Charlotte finds a wedding dress in an estate sale because she's like a boutique owner, and she finds this dress, and it has somehow managed to get into her hands, and she already has a rocky love life to begin with. But then after that, it's the story is very interesting. I like it. My favorite one is, and it talks about these 4 different women and how the dress kind of changes their lives and everything. So you get a really good sense of what it's about. But my favorite one is Emily, and she's the 1912. We all know in 1912 that things still, they progressed for women, but they still weren't at what, they should have been. And for 1912, she had actions, like she was very independent, she was very headstrong. Emily was very headstrong, outspoken. Let's do this, let's go, I don't want to be a part of this. She was going to suffer from an arranged marriage, and she's like, I don't want it. So she's very like revolutionary. She's like, I don't want it. I want to buck against the Traces, and she does. And I love Emily. I don't really remember much about Mary Grace or Hillary, because I just don't remember a lot about them. But yeah, there's like, it's cool because it shows how this dress kind of ties them all together. It's kind of like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but it's like time traveling dress instead of like a pair of pants that fits. It's got the same thing, but traveling pants ain't like a time period thing, That's what it is. But it was really good. I enjoyed it, and it's bride fiction, and who can get better than bride fiction? This next one was another one of my favorites. I absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh. My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows, and it was so good. The historical facts were pretty, I would say they were pretty on match with what I've read. I do like Lady Jane Grey, that's who this is about. She was considered the 9 Days Queen, and no spoiler because this isn't really pertaining to the book, but it's pertaining to Jane. And you can go look it up on Google or what. Just don't use Wikipedia. Wikipedia. I have things to say about that website. Don't use Wikipedia when you're trying to go look up history stuff, or use it for papers. Don't. Just don't. I don't like that website. It sucks. Anyways, a good historian and a good English major would know not to use Wikipedia to go look up something if you want a credible source. Anyways, I read about her in one of these books back here. It was this Kings and Queens of England book, and she was a 9 Days Queen. And Jane Grey, she basically, for treason, she got her head cut off because she committed crimes against the crown. When really, I think they just wanted her out of power and wanted a quick way to get her out, so that's it. And it was really interesting, but yeah, she does die. In history, like, it's written down everywhere in history. You can go look it up, go find it. It's there. So that's not really a spoiler because it doesn't really pertain to the book. But My Lady Jane was so good. The first half is talking about, like, setting up the historical things, talking about Queen Mary, King Henry VIII's daughter, Queen Elizabeth I, and King Edward, and then I can't remember the 6th. I don't remember, but it might be the 6th. But yeah, it talks about King Edward, who ascended the throne when he was 12, I think. I'm pretty sure, if I remember. So yeah, and it kind of talks about, like, the plots that were conspired against her and everything, and it was just really, really good. The history was really good, and then bam, part 2, history. That's when they throw the book out the window, because then everything goes crazy, and they have magic. They include magic into it, which I really thought was a really cool element, and I appreciate that. and it just made the story all the much better. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a little tad too overhyped, because of the fact that I feel like the humor in it, like, was a little forced. And if you don't understand what I mean, read this and then go read Magnus Chasing the Gods of Asgard. That book had me rolling because it was easy. It felt like, I felt like this character would be sarcastic and sardonic and like be hilarious and say these funny lines or whatever and think these things. Her, I feel like it was just forced. I feel like a lot of the humor in this was forced, but other than that, I thought it was great. I loved it, and it has that history element to it, and it's got some romance. It's got everything in it, and I would go pick it up because it's a lot of fun to read, and I loved it. This next one is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. I'm just going to read y'all the back of it. I read it. I kind of enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3 stars in my book review when I was writing for my school's newspaper. It was okay, and I did enjoy it. And, my philosophy is I'm going to keep a book if I liked it. And I liked it enough to keep it. So, I'm just going to read y'all the back, and hopefully, yeah. Reclusive author Vida Winter, famous for her collection of 12 enchanting stories, has spent the past 6 decades penning a series of alternate lives for herself. Now old and ailing, she is ready to reveal the truth about her extraordinary existence and the violent, tragic past she has kept secret for so long. Calling on Margaret Lee, a young biographer troubled by her own painful history, Vida disenters the life she meant to marry for good. Margaret is mesmerized by the author's tale of gothic strangeness, featuring the beautiful and willful Isabel and the feral twins Adeline and Emmeline. I actually know I have 2 friends who are named Adeline and Emmeline. That's pretty cool. I didn't even recognize that. I didn't put those together till now. A ghost, a governess, a topiary garden, and a devastating fire. Together, Margaret and Vida confront the ghosts that have haunted them while becoming finally transformed by the truth themselves. It was really good. It was a really good mystery. The plot twist at the end was really good. I enjoyed it. But it was very slow. A lot of it was very slow building, slow getting to the point. And I understand that you kind of have to like put all these like little things in there, to like layer it to make sure that you explain the ending fully, and I totally get that and I appreciate that, but it was kind of slow, but I enjoyed it. It's not like definitely like my, oh my gosh, like 5-star My Lady Jane kind of read, but it's still good. I don't know what time period this is set in, but it was really good though. I enjoyed it. And I would recommend picking it up because it's like a mystery / historical fiction. It doesn't have any romance in it, which is okay with me. Not every book has to have romance in it, which is perfectly fine with me. If you don't like the fact that it doesn't have romance in it, then this book definitely wouldn't be for you, but that's okay because I have other books that have romance in it. The next one we have is The American Heiress by Daisy Goodwin. I like Daisy Goodwin. I have 2 of her other books. I have not read them yet, but she's come out with this TV show called Victoria, which, about my girl, Queen Victoria. Y'all will hear about her in a few minutes. But, this is talking about, the American heiresses of the 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s. And so if you don't know what an American heiress is, they are the daughters of the wealthy, like, rich American elites. So, like, the new monies of America. So it would be, like, the Vanderbilts and the Carnegies and, oh gosh, there's other ones that I know of that I just can't think of. But, they would have, like, they would be heiresses to their father's, like, tin industry and, like these big, during the Industrial Revolution, these families became really big because they helped rebuild America after the Civil War and everything. And so, during the Industrial Revolution, they got really big, like the Vanderbilts. I know Vanderbilt is a big one because I'm from North Carolina, and Vanderbilt has a house, Biltmore House, or the Biltmore Estate, here in Asheville, and so that's why I'm just using Vanderbilt as an example. But they would send their daughters across the pond to the United Kingdom, and they would then kind of like trade their money for a title. So the mothers of these girls were sending their daughters over, hey, look, you know, we've got a title. They're kind of like buying them titles, basically. Like, we've got a title here. This is my daughter, you know, so she can be a duchess or a marquis or, you know, an earl or, not an earl, countess, whatever. You know, we have money and you can use our money for your estate or whatever. And so that's what this is basically about. And she's Newport heiress Cora Cash, beautiful, spirited, and the richest girl in the county. This is in the 1893. It's going into the Edwardian era, and I say that with a grain of salt because Queen Victoria does not die until 1901. But this is in the 90s, so it's getting towards 1901. So after she dies, it goes from the Victorian era to into the Edwardian era, and so that's why I kind of classify this as an Edwardian era, because a lot of these girls went over during like the early 1900s and got these like titles and everything. So that's why I say it's kind of Edwardian, but still technically if you look at the date, it's 1893, it's still Victorian era. But I mean, unless you want to get really technical with that, then it doesn't really matter. But I'm just going to read the back. It goes, be careful what you wish for. Her mother wants more and whisks Cora away to England for the one thing money can't buy in the States, a title, which that's true because you don't have an aristocracy over here. Be careful what you wish for. Cora makes a dazzling impression on English society, followed by a brilliant match, but finds the chill in the air of magnificent and ancestral homes is not solely due to the lack of central heating. Faced with the traps and betrayals of an old world aristocracy, which is old money, they do not like the fact that she has new money made off the back of her father. The betrayals of an old world aristocracy that can trip up even the most charming, accomplished outsider. Cora must grow from a spoiled rich girl into a woman of substance. So it kind of, customs were a little different between Britain and America. You had different classes, you had different customs, you had different, you know, manners and everything. And so she kind of encounters problems here and there, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. I loved the historical background to it. I thought it was really interesting. I had fun reading it, and I hope y'all have fun reading it too. I love Daisy Goodwin. This was my first book by her that I've ever read, and it was really, really great. So I hope y'all enjoy that one. The next one is also taking place during the Edwardian period. Downton Abbey! Oh, this is my... Oh, I could just... If y'all want to see a Downton Abbey video, because I have a bunch of Downton Abbey stuff. If y'all want to see it, please let me know down in the comments. I don't mind doing it. But this is a Downton Abbey. It's Downton Abbey, the complete script, season 1. And it's written by my man, Julian Fellows. And it goes full shooting scripts with additional material and commentary from the series creator. So down at the bottom, you have the script. But then down at the bottom right here, you kind of have, like, his commentary. So he would, like, comment on, like, you know, historical things. You know, different, like, oh, well, we did this here because of this. It's really interesting. It was so cool. Because when I was in school at the time, I didn't have, like, that good of a computer. I could just take this with me and read it. And so I'd have my TV show. And it even has pictures in it, too. But I do have seasons 1 through 3, and I really hope that he's coming out with season 4, 5, and 6. He hasn't said anything. It's kind of hard to get any information about these, but I'd be very happy if he came out with a season 4. It would be really cool, though. But this is another good one. It's just basically the script of the TV show. So if you were interested, you could pick it up and read it before you watch the movie. I mean, watch the series. It doesn't matter. It's just the exact word for word. It does show you the deleted scenes in this, though. Which I think is really cool. But yeah, I loved it. It's really good. I love Downton Abbey so much. It's my show. I have all seasons on DVD. I'm just a Downton Abbey fanatic. This next one, The Book Thief. I don't know what else I can say about this. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was life-changing. Please pick it up. It takes place during World War II Germany. It's about this girl named Lisa Memminger. I believe that's how you say her name. If I said it wrong, don't shoot me, okay? But it was one of those books that'll just really impact your life and change your life for the better. I had a lot of fun reading it. It was so beautiful. It was so emotional. It made me feel things. It gets you right in the feels. Not only because of like certain events that happen, but like as a reader, as an English major, and as a writer, it made me realize how much words had an impact on my life and how much reading had an impact on my life, because throughout her journey she learns how to read, and it shows us kind of the impact of words and how it can change lives. And I'm just getting cold chills talking about it right now. And it's a beautiful book, and words changed my life and books changed my life for the better because of the fact that, you know, now I can be taken to different worlds. I can be impacted by beautiful words and make new friends and everything. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous story. And also as an English major, I've learned to appreciate the narration in this. It was so beautiful. Please, 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 if you don't pick up any of the other books in this video, go pick this one up because it is totally worth it. It's by Marcus Zusak. It's beautiful, amazing, and just, I don't know what else to say about it. It's gorgeous. I love it. So go pick it up. I have 3 more. F. Scott Fitzgerald. It's The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I don't know what else to say. 10 chapters, beautifully written. It is tragic, but I love Fitzgerald. He's my number 1 favorite author. I have a list of 10 favorite authors, and he's number 1. He's just brilliant. Watch the new movie with Leo DiCaprio, Carey Mulligan, and Tobey Maguire. Don't watch the old one with Robert Redford and Mia Farrow. It does not get it like this one, like the new one does. It's just, the new one convinced me to pick this up. And it's so beautiful. He has a way with grammar and writing and syntax, and it's just, it's beautiful. And unfortunately, it's a quite tragic story, but it's just absolutely gorgeous, and I love it. So please go pick it up today, right now. And the next one is the British Brides collection by a various amount of authors. It's kind of like an anthology, and it just takes place in Great Britain, in the land of Dickens and Austen, and it just takes place anywhere from 1358 to 1865, and there are 9 stories, and they're all really, really good, and it's, you know, about brides. Obviously, British Brides collection. I like bride fiction. That's another one of my weaknesses. And it just makes you feel good, you know, makes you feel fluffy and good inside after, you know, after you read one of those, like, sad books that makes you cry, or you just finished watching episode 9 of When Calls the Heart. We're not going to go into that right now. But you need to read this book because it'll make you feel good. It'll make you feel better. Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it though. It's really good, and it is a Christian fiction. It's you know, but if you want to overlook that, you can. It's just really a good fluffy story, and it's clean, and you know, so you don't get clean often anymore. So I think that's a really great thing that they've got going on here. And then the last one by, what's her name? Anna Kirwan. And that is Victoria Mayblossom of Britannia. And it's like one of the Royal Diary series. It's like, you know, she wrote the Dear America. And then it's like the Royal Diary. She wrote about like royals of Europe. This was what got me into Victoria. Being a British history buff, if I could go to school and specialize in British royal history, like monarchy history, I totally would. That would be like my dream, is to go to school and maybe get a master's in like British royal history. That would be like my dream come true. But anyway, so when I was, you know, every history minor, major buff has their favorite historical figure, whether it be, you know, Martin Luther King, you know, anyone from, you know, favorite president. Being a royal history buff, I have my favorite monarch, and it used to be King Henry VIII because I thought he was a very interesting character, but now it's actually Queen Victoria. After reading this book, this is the book that started it all, my love affair with Queen Victoria, because back behind me, I have like 5 or 6 books that are just all nonfiction books too, that are just dedicated to my girl, Queen Victoria. They're so good. This was really good. It's cute. I'd say it's probably about a middle grades read, but I've kept it because, you know, it's kind of, I don't read it anymore because I know it's like historical fiction, but it's really the one that really got me started into learning about Queen Victoria. It's definitely like, and I just keep it for kind of like nostalgia's sake, but it was really good though. I'd still pick it up. It's kind of like talking about like her, you know, it's written in diary form, and it's really cute. So I hope y'all enjoy that. That's it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I am sorry for the length, but I had a lot to say about these books. If you guys have any recommended reads, please let me know down in the comments. I really want to know. I have some on my TBR shelf in there, but I'm like still kind of in the middle of reading some stuff. So, like, let me know if y'all have any interest, like, you know, interesting historical reads that y'all already read, and maybe I can go pick them up, or, like, pick it up on my TBR or whatever. Let me know your favorites. I want to know. I want to get into a discussion. Please comment. I invite you to comment. I invite you to subscribe here, and please hit the notification bell. The reason why I ask you to do that is because y'all are going to be notified as to when I upload new videos. Also, just in case, even if y'all do if y'all are part of the notification squad, still check out my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because I do upload. Even if I upload late, I will upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So please, just keep up with that, because sometimes, you know, you're not a big YouTuber. They don't give you notifications. I'm actually learning that. So, but yeah, other than that, follow me on Goodreads. It's Liv Loves Books 17 on Goodreads. And also follow me on Instagram, which is Liv Loves Books 17 as well. So yeah, go ahead, feel free to follow me on those social medias. I would love to have you. You know, you have any questions for me, let me know. Other than that, that's it. And I hope y'all have a really beautiful day. Bye.